Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Dr. Robbyn Taylor, the director of the Hall School of Journalism and Communication here at Troy University. Robbyn, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
And full disclosure, before we get things started here, Robbyn is my wife as well as the director of the Hall School of Journalism and Communication, but you are the new director of the Hall School of Journalism and Communication. First and foremost, for the folks at home who don't know you as well as I do, give us a little bit of background about you and how you got to where you are now to being the director of the Hall School.
Sure. Actually, journalism was my minor to start with here at Troy. So I'm a two-time Troy grad. And when I started working on my minor, I really fell in love with it. So I changed it to my major, went on to work in television in Montgomery, got into newspapers down in Florida, went to Washington, D.C. and did public relations, and then ended up back in Alabama. Stayed in Alabama because we started dating, and ended up getting my master's in strategic communication from Troy, which allowed me the opportunity to start teaching at Troy. So I've been here for, this is going into my 9th year.
And now you're the director of the Hall School of Journalism and Communication. And tell me a little bit about what it means to be an alumnus and being the director, and how that connects and what connection it makes with you and the feelings that go along with that, being alumnus and now being the director of a school that you graduated from.
Sure. I can remember how much I loved my professors when I was an undergraduate here. I would hear them tell stories about being at the Apollo launches, tell stories about being at protests and that sort of thing, and it just sounded like the most fun anybody could ever have. So to be able to have gone to a school that afforded me the opportunities to go and work as a professional journalist and have those experiences, and then come back here and tell the same sorts of stories that my professors were telling me, it means a lot. It's very special to be back, and also to be able to kind of guide the future of our graduates here and look toward new industry standards and make sure that we're contributing graduates to the world of journalism and strategic communication who are ethical and knowledgeable and really take this as a public service.
And this has been a pretty big year for the Hall School, celebrating a 50th anniversary recently, and I know you had a lot in the planning of that. But all of that significance and bringing attention to the school, and now with a new director, obviously there's a lot of opportunities and possibly some challenges for you there in getting the journalism school in the spotlight and doing things and making a transition to a future in journalism.
So it's a really interesting time right now with social media changing all the time, bringing some of that into the classroom. We teach mobile journalism now, which is how to report with your cell phone. And it's important for our students to be able to do that. So it's really an interesting time to look at how technology is changing and incorporate that into a classroom setting to make sure that our students, when they hit the ground running, they can do all of the things that their future employers need them to do.
And of course, one of the things that journalism recently has kind of gotten a black eye, and it's no surprise you hear things about fake news and things of that type of opportunities there to make changes to, I guess, the perception and kind of work the challenges of working through a program when you've got so much of this issues that are floating around out there in the world. Obviously, that's something that the perceptions and things that they're going to be worked on as you move in the future.
Sure, and fake news, we talk about that in our classroom setting. Fake news is nothing that's new. It seems to happen often whenever there's new technology. It happened with the printing press, with TV, with radio, now with social media. And so we train our students to use those methods of using social media as a tool to help tell the story, to keep ethics and public service at the forefront of their mind as they're using those tools. And so you're right, journalism has gotten a little bit of a black eye because people like to scream fake news, and it's been around, it's not new, but we're working hard to contribute journalists who are thinking ethically, who want to tell stories in a way that matter, to unite people, to tell the truth, to dig for that information, and to not be sucked into the glamour of just television.
And now, let's talk about, you mentioned this briefly, but your vision, your goal, what is your desire now for the whole School of Journalism here for the future?
I think that we just have to focus on our students and be very student-centric, preparing them for what they need to go out. We have been really successful at graduating students who have been able to move quickly up the food chain in different industries. And I'd like to see that continue. And one of the ways we're going to do that is start networking more with industry professionals, bringing them in. We've got department career fairs planned for every semester, portfolio reviews, just really taking our student success up to the next level and focusing on what individual needs are.
And of course, all of that here in the whole School of Journalism and Communication. And you should know, as a graduate of the program and an instructor in the program, and now the director of the program. And I want to wish you good luck in the future of the whole School of Journalism as the new director. And congratulations on the job.
Thank you.
And thank you. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.